what you are, there's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away, and then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. It's a long road, and you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. Hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive.
Oh, I'm so late this morning. Good morning, everybody. I was on a call. Hell. Jeez. Welcome to LoveBabz, Love Talk. Happy Monday. Yes, I'm blonde. I'm blonde today. I'm blonde this week. Welcome. Welcome to LoveBabz, Love Talk on Babz, Rawls-Ivy. I was on the line with the people who are administrating the LSAT because I'm scheduled to take it on Wednesday remotely, and I'm trying to take it at a test center. When I was registered, they put remote. I didn't want remote. So it's been a nightmare trying to change it, which I think I'm probably not going to be able to change it. Oh, the things we do for love. So anyway, so welcome. I hope everybody had a good weekend. It's a little rainy, gray outside. It's kind of trying to brighten up, and then it's going to go back gray. I don't know. I have no idea. Fall is here, and fall is falling. So, uh, uh, thanks, Doreen. I hear noise in the background. I don't know what that is. Are we recording? Yes, we are. So I guess people can hear me. I don't know. It just sounds like like I hear something in the background. Like it's just, but it's not like singing or anything. Just like space sound. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. Thanks, Doreen. Doreen is riding shotgun because Harry is somewhere in the Grand Canyon. And I know it's hot as all get out west right now. So I don't know if he likes that or not, but Harry doesn't like the heat. So uh, we'll see. Thank you. Now it's gone. Thanks, Doreen. So Harry is on vacation. Uh, he'll be back next week sometime or other. Much needed, much deserved vacation. So Doreen will be riding shotgun this week, and I'll try not to give her too much trouble and anxiety. I'll try to behave and get on here on time and not have FCC issues. I'm gonna do my best, Doreen. I'm gonna do my best. Do my best. I do have guests sometime this week. Let's see. I'm not here. Yes, no, I am here tomorrow. I'm here tomorrow, October 1st. And then I had a lot going on. I'm here Wednesday, and I'm here Thursday. Thursday is Rosh Hashanah, which is Jewish New Year. And then I'm here Friday. So I'm here all week, people. Tune in. Buckle up. Buckle up, good people. Uh, buckle up. Buckle up. Let me tell you what I did this weekend, because I like to recap the weekend, and my weekend started on Thursdays. So it was good. Listen, last week I got to go to I could tell you everything that I did this weekend. This was one of those weekends that it was jam-packed. It was a lot, a lot, a lot going on. So, I already talked about this, but I went to Wednesday. I'm gonna go back a day earlier. Wednesday, I was at the New Haven Legal Aid gala, and they had Reverend Dr. Barber, William Barber, as the keynote, and he brought a mighty fine word. I'm tell you something. If he ever gave up ministering and being a professor, he could have a career in the law, because he was bringing the history of legal aid attorneys. I don't even think some of them legal aid attorneys knew the history the way he was talking about the history and the need for legal aid attorneys, and how they have, been single-handedly helping the poor. So, so I was quite moved by that. And let's see. Uh, I have a I have his book. He signed his book, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber with Jonathan Wilson, Heartgrove, White Poverty, How Exposing Myths About Race and Class Can Reconstruct American Democracy. Because when the conversation is about poverty in this country, Black faces and Latino faces are always the faces that you see. But when you think about this, there are way more white people in this country than there are Black people and other people. So yes, there are more poor white people than there are Black people, but Black people are disproportionately are poor. Meaning there's so many more of, even though we're not the majority of us are poor. So anyway, so he was there, and he was talking about that. So the theme was Rooted and Ready, the 60th anniversary gala. And a lot of organizations around town in New Haven are celebrating 60, 65, 80. This is anniversary years. So he was amazing, I must say. So Karen Walton and I were there. We were sitting at the table with State Rep Tony Walker and Eli Saban and Jennifer Quay. We had a good table. Sinead Drawn, uh, and Tony Walker's husband, Don Walker. It was a fun table. So anyway, that was Wednesday. If that wasn't enough for you, it was I mean, it was. Listen, the room wasn't filled, but it was quite powerful. It was dynamic. He really inspired me. I said this last week, but it's bears repeating. He was quite inspiring to me, and really fostered my sense of determination to go to law school and to be on that front line, just hoping to defend the poor. Now, I don't got no illusions like I'm Thurgood Marshall or any of that. I just want to, whatever time left I have on this planet, I want to do that. So that's where I'm at. So that was Wednesday. It was really, really good. I am quite moved by that. Uh uh Thursday. Thursday, I got my blonde hair back, and then went to the Runner House for the Q House Gala, and then the Q House Gala was Friday. And let me tell you something. That gala was amazing. It was so good. It was good to have a big festive event in the Q House, you know. And I mean, there was a few glitches, like they had this concept of a few tables and chairs, and then mostly the bar stands so people could stand up. But it didn't work out that way because the show was too long for people to be standing. That's my only criticism. And then they were annoyed that people were asking for chairs. But that was a long ass program. It was long. So I was the MC. It was great. I had a good time. People looked beautiful. I mean, people really came dressed up and they were honoring great people, legends in the community. I don't know what I did with my program. I thought I had it close by. I don't see it near me, but that's too bad because it's a I kept it specifically so that I could show it. I don't know where it is. Anyway. But it was great. The Fluker band played. They were in fine tone and tune. I mean, it was really nice. I mean, the food was Orchid Cafe does a great job. There was a lot of food. Three Queens did a wonderful job. I mean, it was a really now I think people will get to see that you could really do something good in that space. Such a great space that you could do something really amazing in that space. And I'm glad that they had it there and they didn't have it somewhere else so that we have to like say across town at the Q house. No, we were in the Q house and it was great. I loved it. I had a good time. Everybody looked great. The decorations were pretty. The people that were honored were lovely. It was great. That was Friday night. Let's see, what did we do Saturday? Saturday, we did the Forgotten Pioneers of Dixwell Community from 1870 to 1958 or something like that. And this was hosted by Denise Page. And I have her program. It was really good. Uh Da-da-da. I don't know if people can see this. The light might be crazy. But anyway, Forgotten Pioneers, Ancestral Family Stories of Dixwell. And this came out of the funds that, the Arts Council gave out some grants and people got to do some interesting things. And so Denise Page was one of those people. And she did it on Forgotten Pioneers, Untold Stories of Black Families in the Dixwell neighborhood from 1860 to 1970. And she's going to do this again in February. And I think I believe she said she wanted to center it around because people have a real memory for the Black Panther Party. So the 70s is its own time frame. So the Forgotten Pioneers is a project in New Haven Artist Corps funded by the Arts Council of Greater New Haven. And the initiative is dedicated to preserving and celebrating the cultural heritage of the Dixwell neighborhood here in New Haven through communal or oral storytelling. And the performance features people who lived, worked, worshipped, or played in the Dixwell community from 1860 to 1970, or no family stories about those times. So the storytelling people were people that we know. She called them the griots. Mr. John Austin, Ms. Ramona Bryant, my bestie, Ms. Ife Gardine, Mr. Jesse Hameen, Mr. Willie Holmes, Mr. William Kirkpatrick, and Mr. Gary Tenney. So it was, and Jackie Buster did the logo. So that was good. So, but before I got to the storyteller part, I stopped by Jackie Buster's house. She lives down the street. And her mom had passed, and so she was having a repast, a celebration of life repast for her. It was like a brunch. And it was tricked out in her mother's favorite color of orange. So it was lovely to sort of stop by there and then get to the Dixwell storytelling. So I'm saying all this to say that when I did the Q House Gala Friday night, I did the red carpet. They let me man the red carpet, which was fun because I got to talk to people. I talked to a lot of people, and hopefully they could string all this footage together and make something of it. We got to talk to people about what they remember about the Q House. And people had such amazing stories about growing up in Dixwell, what the Q House meant. And the Q House was in two other places before it finally landed on Dixwell Avenue proper. And I did not know that part because I only knew the Q house on Dixwell Avenue right there across from the from Dixwell Congregational Church. So it was really nice to talk to people and to hear what it was like for them to have the Q House, the characters of the Q House, the people who ran the Q House, the people who worked at the Q House, families and parents who they went to the Q House, their kids went to the Q House, now their grandchildren or great grandchildren at the Q House. So it was a wonderful opportunity to sort of see how community develop and unfolded in Greater New Haven, the Black community, because there's not enough conversation about that, I don't think. So it was really moving for me. I had a really good time. Listen, I'll be on somebody's red carpet in a minute and talk to all the people. And Ife was very good for sending people to me. She just makes people get on the red carpet. She's like, oh, go talk to her. And so there was a photographer, there was a red carpet. I got to talk to people. I mean, it was rich. It really was rich. I enjoyed myself. I was tired as all get out. It was a long day, but it was well worth it. And then Saturday was Denise's thing. And then Sunday, went to have breakfast with my besties and one more person because we're working on a project. It's gonna be epic. I'm not gonna say what it is. I gotta keep it under wraps. But it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be fabulous. So anyway, so we had breakfast yesterday and that was good. And then a lot of downtime, a lot of chill time. Uh, a lot of chill time. So yeah, I mean, it's all good. All good. It was a good weekend. And now here we are Monday. And so when I get off air today, uh, I've got to go get my oil change and then I'm gonna run up to CUNY because I start the application process for law school. So I'm going up to CUNY today to see the school, the campus, and to Professor Foreman is going to be in conversation with Dwayne Betts. So I'm going to go and participate, be in the audience for that. And oh my gosh. And that'll be fun. That will be fun. That will be fun. So we're going to do that. I'm gonna do that. So and CUNY, thank God I looked because I would have went right into Manhattan. I would have got on a train and went into Manhattan, then I would have to take the Long Island Railroad back to Long Island City. That's not where I want to. That's not what I want to do. So I would rather just drive my little self to Queens, which is an hour and a half, and park my car and then drive myself back. So that's easy to do. I've driven far for more, for less. So I've driven further for less. So that's pretty good. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm doing that tonight, this evening, this afternoon. And then tomorrow, I'm here. And then it's the Arts Council annual meeting. I do that tomorrow evening at 5:30 at the Eli Whitney Museum and Workshop. So that'll be fine. Um, my son is going to be sentenced in federal court tomorrow. I feel pretty good about that. As good as I can feel as a mother, worried about her child. But, I feel confident that a positive outcome will come out of all of this. It's I've talked about this. This has been I don't know, maybe a 2-year ordeal of some sort. And he's much more older and mature now, and I think this has really given him pause. So anyway, I'll be in court with him tomorrow and speaking on his behalf. And then Wednesday, I take the LSAT. And it'll probably be remote. I was hoping to try to change it, but it's been daunting. It's been an ordeal. It's been an ordeal. It's been an ordeal. And then and then it's all behind me after that. It's all behind me after that. So I believe Ife will be on because Live Fest is this weekend. So Live Fest is Saturday, 11 to 5. And then I'm going to be on the red carpet at the Canal Boathouse for Divided Loyalty, 6. And then I'm going to run up to the DST, the Delta Sigma Theta, the New Haven Alumni Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Gala that evening. And so that'll be that's another weekend. And then Sunday, rest. And then I won't have any more galas. Then I think I won't have any more galas until November. I won't have any more galas until November. Well, I have November 2nd, the Arts Council Awards at the Canal Boathouse and the Jack Gala at the Omni that evening. And then I'm doing the Links brunch that day. So there's a lot going on. So I'm working the Links brunch from 10:30 in the morning to about 3:30 in the afternoon. And then I'm going to the Arts Council and then the Jack Gala. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a long day. That's in November. So I can't concern myself with November until November is at the door. Tomorrow is October 1st, which I am delighted uh because it's October is a very loaded month for me. 17 years ago, I walked into Danbury Federal Prison Camp. I'll reminisce about that tomorrow if I can remember anything about it. We'll see what happens. But it seems like forever ago, doesn't it? It does to me. So that's tomorrow. So it's just a weird thing that all good things and interesting things that has happened to me has happened in the month of October. My oldest daughter was adopted in October. I was married in October. Um, oh gosh, I've gotten my mother's birthday is in October. My mother's death anniversary is in October. My sister-in-law's birthday is the same birthday as my father in October. I mean, it's a weird October. October is like my Bermuda Triangle. It really is. It is like my Bermuda Triangle, this thing. And I don't say that because so many good things happen to me in October, as well as so many challenging things. So I can't discount or discredit October. Do you know what I mean? It was so many good things that happened to me in October, and so many challenging things. I mean, that's just what it is. And it's it's an amazing thing. So as I said to y'all, I treat October like my New Year's. It just seems natural. Just seems quite natural. So yeah, so that's all the good stuff that's going on. You know, it's interesting things going on. I'm feeling quite delighted. The Omni workers have ratified their new 4-year contract, which is good because I know my good friend and glam captain Kay Holness was like, if we can't move our gala one more time, y'all gonna have to get this right. And got it right, they did. So for next 4 years, there'll be no striking. So everybody could breathe easy. And then I meant to talk about this the other day. The chapel lanes reopened because that mess going down Chapel Street. And if you forget that right lane was closed, you talk about the bane of existence. but they're open now, so you can go straight on down. I'm gonna miss Elm City Market though. They're closing their doors. I love having a market downtown. I don't even live downtown, but I just like knowing that there's a market downtown. And I think people downtown liked having a market. I mean, it's expensive, but it's still a market where you could like, if you needed eggs or something or some staple or some, if you needed something, you could just get to it if you're down there, particularly with all that housing going on down there, you know. So I would imagine somebody else would come along. I hadn't read the article, so I don't know what the plans are. I don't know what the plans are, but interesting. So, interesting. Oh, I meant to mention the passing of, because I wasn't here Thursday and Friday. That's what it was. I was not on air Thursday and Friday. So the passing of Nick Pastor. I knew Nick Pastor, and he was 87 years old. He really was a fan of my sister Robin. He really wanted her to join the police force. Like he lobbied her hard. He really wanted her. And, he'd be like, woman needs to be on the police force. He lobbied my sister hard. And I think for a hot minute, she entertained it. But then she thought, you know what? I have a temper. I don't know if I could, I don't know if my temper would allow for uh, that kind of commitment. I think she could do it now at 50, but I don't think she could do it. I don't think she could do it at 20, 23. No. He was one of the people I enjoyed talking to. It was always good conversation, you know. So he was a character, and that's fine. I mean, he was interesting. I don't know how many people we can say that about in this town in New Haven. He left an indelible mark. I mean, you cannot talk about community policing without talking about Nick Pastor. And whatever the hell people got in their bag about what he did or didn't do, and how he ran his life or whatever, that's neither here nor there in these moments when people are gone. What will always be profound is this notion of community policing in the way that he imagined it and in the way that he tried to implement it. And it was such a big deal that police departments across the country took to it and said, you know what, this might be the new wave of policing. Now, over the years, people sort of messed with it messed with it and uh and stopped sort of sticking true to it. But it was groundbreaking, you know. I don't think we've seen the last of community policing at all. I think it will come back around and reimagine itself, you know. And I think people would still like to believe that we have some modicum of community policing here, you know. I guess. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. Maybe, you know, maybe, maybe. Uh but I think one or two things are going to happen around policing. We're going to buckle down, double down on stupid policing, where um will be more militaristic in our approach, or we will do an all-out sprint for community policing and really give it the support and the centering that it needs in community. And I can't think of another place in the country better than New Haven that could do it and be a model for that. But it does require leadership to think like that, you know. Uh, yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen, that it was moving over to Ife. Ife is my remote producer. Elm City Market is moving over to the new. That's where I thought I read that. I thought I read that. I thought I read that. It's going to have a smaller footprint, you know. But I like having a market downtown. And, for me, somebody like me with a severe dairy allergy, they have all kinds of vegan stuff in there. Like desserts and stuff. They carried all kinds of stuff in there. I rather like that in ways that other places don't. And other places carry stuff, but they carry like stuff that you see on when you're doing these searches when you're on people's Instagram, you know, and you could just find it, without having to drive all the way out to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. So anyway, so I don't know what that space will become. It's a big space, you know. Uh, it's a big space. So I don't, somebody will imagine something for that space. I guess. Maybe somebody will take it over as a theater space. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But they gotta have some kind of market down there because all those apartments. I mean, do we really want people driving all over the place to get to a grocery store when they could just walk? I mean, there's no market in Newhallville, so. But they don't give a damn about poor people, so you know, it would be nice to have a decent market, you know, in the community, a decent market. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, the city is changing before our very eyes, which to me is a good thing. I'm not going to be here in another 100 years, so a lot of us aren't going to be here in another 100 years. So we're seeing all the beginnings of change now, and I'm talking physical change, the landscape, the landscape and the look of things. So uh, that's that's uh, that's what I'm paying attention to. So yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. So let's see what else is going on. I talked about Nick. I forgot that I wasn't here Thursday and Friday, so I didn't get a chance to riff on any of this stuff. You know, I'm so sick of hearing about schools. We done spent a gazillion dollars on school buildings, and now I'm seeing decay in places. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, I don't know why we have such a I don't understand why we have such a disconnect with schools and the upkeep of schools, and you know I mean our tax dollar pays for schools, and I don't want to hear people whine about why are we spending so much money on schools. Like, well, where else would we spend the money? What? I don't understand what people think tax dollars ought to do. If you're not spending it on schools, why are you spending? Okay, roads. All right, I get that. Roads, traffic calming, all that kind of stuff. I'm with you on that. Uh, okay. But then beyond that, what? Sidewalks. Okay, sidewalks. I get you on that. Let's fix all the damn sidewalks so people can shut up. All right. Okay, sidewalks. Trim the trees. Yes, trim the trees. I'm just interested in all the things that people uh uh oh oh okay. People got a lot of nerve in this town. So much. Don't, 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 don't. Just be cool. Oh Lord. This, you know, let me put something on people's minds. And this, and I want this to get out to people. I want to take it far and wide if you want to. I want people to name all the people who are assholes in this town, who have terrible attitudes and don't have any friends. Or they got one or two friends who reflect them. I know people who are just terrible people and they don't see it. They don't know that they're terrible people. And so they just act terribly. I'm in this chat with some people that I adore. and some stuff came up, and I thought, oh my God. I'm not gonna put it on blast because I'm just not. But t people are just, I don't know if people just lack a sense of decorum. They lack social graces. They lack empathy. They lack respect. They lack the ability to have some cool. They just lack things that we take for granted. I mean, they just lack things that we take for granted. And I see it so in so many spaces. You know, you know, uh, uh, you know, they just lack social graces. And there's a lot of people who don't know how to be gracious, kind, generous. They just don't know how to, they just don't know how to be it. And you know, uh they just don't know how to behave. And you I've had several conversations this week about two people in community who are pretty much the same in terms of how they are in the world with people. And it's a sad state. I mean, I don't think people, I don't know what people would say about me or say about me. I only know that I enjoy a good amount of friendships across this city and across all kinds of indicators, race, ethnicity, economics. And I don't I wouldn't have it any other way in my personal life. Like I enjoy people and learning about differences and things. You know, I don't go out of my way to be miserable. I hope people will say that at my memorial service, that she didn't go out of her way to be miserable. Uh, and I know people who go out of their way to be miserable because their misery is their fuel to be more miserable and irrational and disrespectful and harmful to people, you know. And it's I don't know, I don't know how to operate in the world that way. I just don't. And and people just operate that way. And I don't know what that's like. But anyway, that's neither here nor there because I got a new dream that is taking shape and taking hold. And I was saying to my girlfriends over breakfast yesterday, I always know when I'm going down the right path because the path is smooth. The minute the path is rough or raggedy, or I gotta push, or I gotta scream and kick and fight, that's the universe saying you have to go in a different direction. And I get that people believe that you have to kick doors in and all that kind of stuff. And I think in some regards you might have to do that. But you have to sort of know yourself to know when that is the case. I'm 61. I have a sense. I don't have to kick in doors or any of that kind of stuff. And I don't have to force things. But when things are good and they're smooth and they run the way they're supposed to run, and every time I take a step, a door opens, baby, I know that's the universe saying, "Let's go. We got you. You on the right path." I remember because I used to be so I used to let like things control my energy. And money was a thing that if I didn't have money, I was depressed. If I didn't have money, I didn't want to do anything. If I didn't have money, I was irritable. And I remember I learned to change that attitude so that I could enjoy my life because money comes and goes. And I didn't want it to dictate how I was in the world. And once you stop letting it dictate, it gets better. For me, anyway, it's gotten better because I used to be like, oh my God, I mean, it used to just be like my master. And I just made the point, just like, nope. So when people owe me money, I don't get hysterical. I just, okay, I know it's coming. Let me just go on about my business. I'm good. I'm waiting for checks. Okay, they coming. I'm not gonna be nervous. And sometimes old habits are hard to break because sometimes you do get a little nervous because you're like, ooh, I got to go pay this thing. I'm waiting for this money. And then I just tell myself, nope. If I have to make arrangements to pay something later, then that's what I'll do. Because what I'm not going to do is make this larger than my life. And then I started doing that with everything, with people, places, and things. That I center my own heart and mind in my life. I'm not concerning myself with what other people do, what they don't do, whether I'm, money or any. I don't make those things a priority. And it has made a huge difference in my peace. It has made a huge difference in my peace. And to be honest about what I can't do and what I can do. So I feel pretty damn good. And it is not easy. It takes some time to sort of get in that space where you're not desperate. I don't want to live a desperate life. I just don't. Uh, and I used to live a desperate life. That's how I got into all the trouble that I got into, living a desperate life. Just not trusting in the universe to take care, not trusting in God's care of me, just thinking my way into stupidity and just like, oh, no, I don't have to do that anymore. No, 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 no. What's meant for me won't get by me. Honestly, it just won't. And so now that, my besties and I, we got this new dream that we're working on, it just feels right. The timing is so perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like the timing is so perfect and all the players are in place. Now, it doesn't mean that we won't hit any bumps in the road, but I think whatever the bumps are, we can just calmly deal with them, whatever it is, and just keep true to the dream. The dream is this. And now that we've made steps toward it, I feel like the universe is like, yeah, I got you. Come on, keep stepping forward toward the dream. You imagine a dream, we imagine a dream too. That's what the universe is saying. You imagine a dream, we got the dream too. We hear it. Come on, come on. So that's how I feel like this is a good space. Now I got some other challenges that I got to deal with. You got to deal with people who are bullies and all this other kind of stuff. And, I'm that person that can be bullied. I just absolutely cannot. I like, and I don't like irrational behavior. I don't like hysterical behavior and irrational behavior because I don't operate from none of that. If something happens, I don't get hysterical. Other people get hysterical and they flip out and cry. I'm not that person. I'm a very calm, cool-headed person. I think first. I like to think. I don't react. I like something is jumping off. I slow down. Like, okay, let me assess what's happening here before I react. I'm slow to react. I mean, of course, I could get my ass out of a burning building. I'm not gonna like slow walk out of a burning building. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't react to stuff. I don't. When my kids flip out, I don't flip out. Used to, not anymore. When I know people who are being irrational, I don't take that bait. Like, all right, well, they're just being what they are. I'm gonna stand right here, and whenever they get done doing whatever they think they're doing, I'll make a decision. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is just being 61. This is just being 61. I learned a thing or two. And you know, so I'm just saying, you learn a thing or two, and you just, you're not here for the foolishness. You're just not here for it. And that's a wonderful thing. I think it's a wonderful thing. So anyway, it's nice to see Tabitha Sukdale. Tabitha is coming on my show, Paul. I just hadn't had a chance to schedule her. And she called me to ask if it was cool to go on your show first and my show second. I said, girl, it's all good. I said, you'll enjoy Paul. You talk to him. You'll enjoy it, you know, because we'll have a little bit of a slightly different kind of conversation, you know. And I just adore her. She's at Vermont Law and Yale Law because she's an environmentalist person, you know. And her husband, who I think I knew they were married. I think I met him when I first met her, but I didn't, it just went out of my consciousness. So I saw them at the Q House Gala, and they were so cute. So cute. So anyway, uh yeah. Oh, so I'm gonna take a break, Doreen, in about 1 minute. Usually at 9:57, I go and take a break and I come back at 10:15. But and I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna talk about my violin lessons, which I'm loving, although I need a little more time to devote. So I'm gonna take a break and then I'll be back at 10:15. And y'all, talk amongst yourselves until I get back. I'll be right back. Play some music, Janine. And station identification.